afternoon, good evening, everyone. It is June the 22nd, and this is show number 15 for Carla and I. So,
wow.
yeah.
You did that many?
Well done. Well done.
Okay.
Can I get a kiss on that one? Wow. Big thing. So we've gotten to show number 15. So that was a celebratory handshake at the net before the match started. This is our second part of today, being the women's. And again, if there's any desire to see the women's first, we'll be happy to do that. That's just how we kind of take notes down.
Maybe you should do the opposite tomorrow. Switch it around.
Maybe opposite day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go opposite day?
Yeah, because the women don't get any coverage on TV. Might as well give them some coverage here first. They deserve it.
Yeah, rolling right into it. Thank you for that. She kind of cued me in on that one. By the way, if you don't know about my glasses, don't laugh at them. It's not Spike Lee, even though I love Spike Lee. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a Lakers fan. But I broke my glasses, so I have my dollar store $8 glasses, so I can read what I wrote. So we're going to take it right where she just cued me in, and we're going to talk about no women's coverage. So today we have already done the men's, and we had the opportunity to watch 3 and 4 men's matches over and over and over and over again.
It's ridiculous. It makes me not ever want to turn on the tennis channel, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we have the tennis channel, and I think I can tell you how many times Federer bounces the ball on every second serve throughout the match, because I saw it 27 times. Again, I'm not hating on that, but there are women out there, and there are a lot of good matches going on, and it shouldn't be this difficult to find these scores, these results, who's in, who's out, who's hot, who's not, but it's grinding teeth to get women's information.
We were even watching Federer practice, right? Federer was practicing.
Yeah, Federer was
Who
practicing.
else was practicing? Some other person they were showing. Was it Courage practicing?
Yeah, I think there was a couple guys on practice courts, and we were watching them practice and laughing on the courts, and in the meantime we had some women's matches going on, and I think one of the matches was an American player, Risk, which we'll talk about, which made the draw at Wimbledon, so good for her for sure. So we're going to jump right back into it. Again, not a lot of women's coverage, and that should change because there was a lot of tennis action today, so we are going to deliver that to
Them.
you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Risk, Allison Risk, American player who's had a pretty decent grass court season, right?
Yeah, she's had good for her. She got pretty far. Quarters?
Yeah, I
No,
think
semis.
Didn't she lose today?
She lost today.
She lost today, but you know what? She made the main draw at Wimbledon. The draws won't come out till I think the 29th of June, but she made the draw. She is qualified for Wimbledon. Good job, Risk. I'm rooting for you. I don't know if you're on my fantasy team yet, but the chances are you might be there.
I mean, good for her. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have to go through the whole qualifying thing as most of the Americans will.
Yeah, so this is just something else that we're going to talk about is the lack of being able to see players that are the potential backbone to American tennis, which in my opinion is subpar at this point. Again, less the Serenas and the Sloanes and the Venuses, but besides that, we're really in kind of a quagmire of subpar tennis. This girl Risk comes through, she's driving, she's working, she had an unfortunate loss, but we never got to see it. Didn't see anything about her court demeanor, her emotions, how she looked, her fitness, nothing, right?
No.
So I just have a score when we get to it. Serena made the #1 seed in Wimbledon. Now I think this is Wimbledon's age-old tradition. I may be wrong at this point, rules may have changed, but I had presumed that the previous winner was the #1 seed coming back in either way. Am I wrong? I'm not sure.
Yeah, usually, but they gave her, and the only reason we found out is because ESPN is great about covering, giving information about women's tennis.
Yeah, so we got this information off an ESPN kind of bottom of the screen thread. We did not get this from any other source. This was pretty good coverage by ESPN, even though it was on the bottom of the screen. We don't get any other coverage from any other carrier on the bottom of any screen. So
yeah.
Thanks ESPN for that. We did get it, the initial idea that Serena would be the #1 seed.
Yeah, it's special ranking, #1, which I would think Muguruza is a little upset about that, being that she's the past champion.
Well, I think that Muguruza's going to deal with that because Serena is the number one. Go Serena. No.
I think they did great because she left due to maternity. I mean, she was pregnant, so she couldn't play Wimbledon. So she's coming back just where where she left off. So I think it's a great thing.
Let's go, Serena. Let's go. Let's get this done. Just wait. Let's go. Come on. Whew. Man. Serena. Let's go, girl. We got this. Let's get this done. What? Anyway, we were actually talking. I forgot what I was talking about. Serena tends to make me forget what I'm thinking about.
Anyways.
All right. She's the number one seed, deservedly so. She's still my pick for a semi-final at Wimbledon. I still think she wins the whole tournament, given the child and the fitness level. Not shortly removed from having this child is questionable. There will be next year. The little one will see mommy hold up many more trophies, and the little one should see this, right? The little one should see Serena dominate, like get 30 majors, forget 20, forget 23, forget 25, forget 27, let's get 30.
Doesn't she have 23?
Let's make it unreachable for singles.
Well, what about the article that we read about Chris Evert, what she said about Serena?
What did she say about Serena?
She said that she doesn't think she'll win another one.
Oh, I remember this article. But was it an article or was it an actual interview? I think it was an article, right?
It was an article.
Yeah, I think Chris Evert had forecasted that it would be very difficult. And I'm quoting, so I would have to be careful with how I quote it because I may have words off. But the theme was that Serena, it would be very difficult for her with a child. Her edges may have been softened. She may not be as cutthroat as she used to be. You know what? I say she's more cutthroat. I say she's ready to win, and she wants to win now.
Yeah, I don't see her getting softer just because
Softer.
she's a mom. I mean, when you're competitive, you have it, and you're a champion, you have it in your heart to always want to win. I'm sorry, Chris Evert half of the time does not know what she's talking about.
Hey, I've mentioned this before in one of my videos of my top 8 athletes of all time spanning all sports, and Serena's number 1 on that list, with the likes of the Jordans and the LeBrons and the Shaun Whites and the Michael Phelps. Serena's a fighter, and I can promise you she's going to always fight. Her edges will not be softened. I can promise you that. I would never want to face her in a tennis match because I would be absolutely... I would be intimidated. I would be scared to face her on a tennis court. Beautiful girl. My wife knows this. She's like my woman crush, less my beautiful wife. But Serena, I really hope you win this tournament. I promise you I'm your number 1 or maybe one of another million number 1 fans. But I really hope you win this tournament. I really do, man. Really do.
I think she wants it more than ever. And I think she wants to prove to the world that she could win one after being a mom. If Clijsters did it, why can't she?
Yeah, if Clijsters can do it, Serena,
yeah,
I know you can do it.
And she did it twice. Clijsters did it twice.
Look, can I get that Blade 104 signed when you win this Wimbledon? Can I please have your Wilson Blade 104 signed after this Wimbledon? I promise you, I'll like sleep with it. All right? I just want that Blade 104 signed when you win this Wimbledon. All right? All right. Cool? Can I have that?
If she gives it to you.
I want that. All right. So, she always makes me forget what I'm thinking about. All right. So we had more news. Venus Williams, her sister, is the oldest woman in the draw. Can she make noise here?
No, I don't think so. I think with Serena being out of the game last year after the Australian Open, Venus was able to capitalize on that. I don't think this year she's even close to being... She's not close to that game she had last year. No. I think she'll lose in a couple first few rounds like she did. She went out in the first round of the French Open.
Totally disagree. Completely.
Well, you like Venus. I like her as a player. I'm sorry, I just don't see that energy and that drive, and I don't think so.
Totally disagree. Totally and utterly disagree. I have Kvitova winning this Wimbledon only because of where Serena is potentially fitness-wise. Serena could win this, but if I could have a wish, it would be to see a Serena Venus final because I like Venus too.
I don't want to see that final.
Let's go,
No
Venus.
offense, Justin. I don't want to see a Williams sisters final.
I
I
do.
like the Williams sisters.
I do.
But I would like to see a William with someone else, not two Williams. I never watched their matches when they played against each other.
Let's go Venus. Let's go Serena. And Sloane, I want you in the semis too. Venus, Sloane, Serena in the semis with someone creeping in. I think it'll be Kvitova. Sloane, Venus, Serena, Kvitova, semi.
I think you're dreaming.
Let's go Venus. Let's go Serena. Let's go Sloane.
Okay. You're dreaming. But go ahead, go to the next match.
All right. So, again, I just mentioned that we watched the same men's match 3 times over. And it was difficult to find the women's matches. We found them. We're going to review them real quick. We had Stozier, which was my dark horse for Wimbledon pick in the women's first video. This is video 15. On video 1, I said, watch out for Stozier this year on grass. I think she has won every match she's played since then, right?
This means nothing. So what? That she's in the finals? Is she in the finals? No, the semifinals.
But
Big deal. This means nothing for Wimbledon. I mean, come on. Stozier has never had it up here. I mean, the only time I saw
she
her
won a
go-
major.
she beat Serena, and I was shocked at that. But
Oh,
happy,
no, that's not good for me. But
and happy
yeah.
for her. But I don't know. She's older. I don't think she'll do damage at Wimbledon. Sorry, no.
I say she may make my top 16 for Wimbledon. Not sure yet, but Stozier, great job. Keep working. You're a veteran. You deserve to be where you are. Let's get a win tomorrow. Sevastova today beat Tomljanovic from Australia. Irrelevant for me into Wimbledon. Ding, ding. I'm out on this match. Australian versus, I think, Sevastova, a Russian or Ukrainian. I may have it wrong, but I have neither going for in Wimbledon.
Neither do I. You can go to the next match.
All right, so we had the German girl Maria that beat Safarova, Bethany Maddox-Sands doubles partner in 3 sets. I have neither going far in Wimbledon, so good job both players. But ding, ding, ding for me, Maria. I haven't seen you due to lack of coverage, not against you. I just haven't seen you here in Dauphin Island, Alabama. Safarova I have seen on numerous occasions on a single side and as well as double side, and I just don't see a player, nor have I ever seen a player in her that's going to go deep into Wimbledon.
You know, I think Maria is like 19 years old, actually. From what I was watching through the ESPN coverage at the bottom, they were naming a few of the youngsters, and her name was in that list, just like Kenin and Shapovalov, a few 19-year-olds that are playing Wimbledon.
Maria.
So good for her.
So she's a youngster.
She's a youngster, so good for her.
Okay, then maybe we should pay some attention to Maria. I think it's always nice to watch her up and coming, and maybe
Definitely, she might be a future star.
maybe she's that next gen. So let's look out for the German girl Maria. Safarova again has been a veteran for a long time, and maybe I hope for a Maria win. So maybe we can see more of her. Moving forward, there is an American flag bearing Kenin, Kenin, who I think is really. Well, she was American-born, I think, but I think she was directly from Russia. So
No, she was born in Russia but came very young to the United States, so, I mean, she's American.
I think her parents would be presumably
They're Russian, yes.
So the only reason why we mention this is we tend to veer off at times into why American tennis has gotten so, I guess, low on the totem pole. It seems like the level of discipline in the American tennis, for me, and you may disagree, has dropped low. So when we see some of these young American players that are come out and they start to dominate, sometimes we always question, are they truly American with American parents and Not that there's anything wrong with American parents. I'm one. But the discipline level has dropped so far off from when I was a child and when she was a child to where it is now. To me, it's more like, here's my kids, teach them the country club forehand, teach them the loopy shots, teach them the moon balls, teach them how to push, teach them how to defend. And I see it from the West Coast to the Northeast to the Southeast to here in the South, which we have lived in all of those places. No disrespect anywhere, but when I see someone like Kenin come in, I have to tell myself, wait a minute, she's really a Russian player with probably very disciplined Russian parents, and I think that for me, that we should work harder for American tennis, and maybe we can learn from the parents of this girl, Kenin, and how we can get better players at her age that are truly American.
You know what I think the problem is, and I hate saying this, but in the United States, most of the parents they're paying a lot of money to these coaches for these lessons. It's the same blah blah thing, a lot of talk. You know, a lot of foreigners come here when they're young, and some of these coaches take them in without any pay. They pay for everything because they see promise in them, you know. Nothing wrong with that, but they forget about, you know, maybe a kid that you can find in the projects, or maybe a kid that can't afford a lesson. You know, everything is about money right now. And all these kids are the same. They play too many tournaments, too many USTA tournaments with the red, orange ball, etc., etc. And I think that's why American tennis is where it's at.
And there is some credible history behind her upbringing, the slums area of Queens, New York, and played with a lot of great players there, Russian of all descents, moved her to Florida, some Reebok stuff and so forth. So she's not speaking from a matter of haven't been there or grew up with the silver spoon, because that was a case of definitely had no or had not a silver spoon. So a lot of these girls, and again, this is why I get so perturbed about no women's coverage, is there is a lot of really hardcore fighting women tennis players, and they get absolutely no coverage, and they're pushed off, literally, in my opinion, to go be a calendar girl or swimsuit model.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, you have, I don't get why they don't support women's tennis. It's not about American tennis now, it's about women's tennis. These girls work hard. Tennis is an expensive sport, like I was saying. You know, they're paying coaches, fitness coaches, psychologists. I mean, they have everything. They got to pay for hotel and lodge, their food. I mean, some of them are not even sponsored, and that gets very expensive. You know, a lot of them, I mean, they can't even afford to be on tour.
Yeah, and I think we've discussed before about a lot of players that have been raised in the European areas and many other areas, Middle Eastern, Russian areas, and bombed out swimming pools or their backboards and so forth. But yet we have the best facilities and the best supposed coaches and the biggest stadiums with the biggest roof, but we have no great players. So that's unfortunate. At least less, again, Sloane, Serena, and Venus. So all of which, less Sloane, are going to be fading away eventually. And without them, it's going to be a ghost town. All right. So we talked about Stosur beating Risk, Sevastova beat Tomljanovic, Maria beat Safarova, and Kenin beat Garcia today. Semifinals tomorrow, Kenin versus Maria. Toss up.
You'll have the two teeny boppers. They both have a lot to prove. I'm sure they're both hungry to win. I'm going with Kenin, just because I've seen her play before, and she's feisty.
I'm going to go with Kenin too here. I've seen her maybe some highlights 3 or 4 times. I think maybe a partial match a couple of months ago. But I'll go with Kenin here simply because we just spoke about her, and I have never seen Maria play at all. Sevastova versus Stosur. I'm going with Stosur here. She's my dark horse for Wimbledon, who has made my fantasy team as my unseeded player already. Stosur, you're in, and it's in my top 8 in Wimbledon.
I'll go with Sevastova just because I've seen her beat Maria Sharapova. I think she can beat Stosur tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, you'll see. 2 sets.
You want to bet on that?
What do you want to bet?
Wait a minute. You think Sevastova's going to beat?
Definitely. It'll be like 6-4, 7-5, but she'll win.
So it has to be straight sets, or can it be 3 sets and loss? So either.
It doesn't matter. She'll win.
Okay, so I got. You cook dinner tomorrow night. She cooks dinner tomorrow night. If Stosur wins, if Sevastova, is that who she's playing?
Yeah.
If Sevastova wins, I cook dinner. I cook a better dinner anyway, so she's coming out win-win regardless. But let's just say I got Stosur. You got the other?
Yes.
Lock it in. All right. You heard it. All right, moving forward to the Nature Valley Classic in Birmingham. Completed matches today. The young Romanian girl, Buza Rănescu of Romania, beat Svitolina, the number 4 girl in the world, fairly convincingly.
Yeah. Jeez, man, I really hope she would win that match. Being number 4 in the world, I'm not picking her for my Wimbledon fantasy group.
Who's Svitolina?
No, I'm just
Me
not.
neither.
I'm just, I was going to put her in, because I thought she's a pretty good player and she could do some damage, but you can't be losing to someone that's much lower ranked than you.
All right, hold up. Wait a minute, right? The girl Buzarenescu, I think that's how you pronounce it. We talked about this yesterday, that she was from Romania, right?
Oh, with Halep, yes.
We never looked into it, and maybe they have never met in their entire lives. But Romanian girls, if you look at Halep, are relatively feisty. There's been a few in history that are feisty as well. However, if she's Romanian young, I would really think Halep has something to do with this. Potentially Cahill with the Adidas team. I have not found.
We'll find out tomorrow.
I haven't found out if she wore Adidas attire. If Buzarenescu, the young girl, if she has Adidas attire and she's from Romania, and she has anything to do with Halep, I think we should at least pay some respect to her, because she's well guided. Now, if everything I'm saying is farce and none of the above is true, then maybe she's another player. But from such a small country with 2 top women tennis players, or at least top 100, it's pretty impressive.
Definitely.
You would think they would help each other, right? Yeah, I would think so. Halep's a gladiator. More about her in a minute. So, Kvitova today beat Julia Georges, cruised right through. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. Kvitova, I have winning Wimbledon, even over Serena.
I have her in my picks too.
Next match, Strykova won today by means of default. She won the first set 6-3, and she was up 3-0. Her opponent Sarenko withdrew. She had an injury of sorts. Hopefully she is okay. Remember, Strykova beat Brady, who beat Bouchard, who we had a talk about this whole chain of matches of whether they were any big deal because Bouchard was a Grand Slam finalist, or whether it was just some fluke thing. So that's been a nice story. Check out the previous videos for that kind of storyline running up. But Strykova won again today. Is Strykova we're talking about for Wimbledon?
Not sure. We'll see how she does at Eastbourne.
We'll see. Still elementary for me. A walkover, and then Bouchard, Brady, still unsure about those two. All right, the last match, Rybarkova defeated Jakupovic 2-4. I have neither going into my last week of Wimbledon, so I'm going to ding out on those two for this discussion.
Yes, same here.
Great players. Rybarkova's been around for a while. Jakupovic I have not seen play. We called Rybarkova winning yesterday decisively, yes. And that occurred. So, hey, we got that one right. Tomorrow's semifinals, Strykova versus Rybarkova. I'm going with Strykova because of the simple fact she's been winning, and I think this might be her time to meet Kvitova in this final.
Same here. That would be the smart pick.
So I have Strykova winning tomorrow. If Rybarkova beats Strykova, I think it makes them both worth watching for Wimbledon. But at this point, I think Strykova is definitely worth watching for your top 16 at Wimbledon. Last semifinal, Petra Kvitova. I have her winning Wimbledon at this point. It can always change. We go into this last week. Someone might get injured. Someone may withdraw. You never know. I have Kvitova winning it. She plays Buzarenescu tomorrow, the Romanian girl who we just spoke about. I have Kvitova winning that. Even if she lost, it would not change my mind about Kvitova winning Wimbledon.
I don't know about the other player, but I think Kvitova will win that in 2 sets.
Yeah, I see Kvitova sailing in that. We may be wrong. We were wrong about a couple matches today. Let's find out if Buzarenescu is teamed up with Halep, Adidas, Cahill, or so forth. An ending. A couple fun things. Bethany Maddox-Sands, will she wear strawberry hair at Wimbledon?
She will. She's gutsy. She doesn't care what the world thinks of her.
Will she get away with wearing strawberry hair at Wimbledon?
Jeez, I don't think so. They've been so strict. I mean, they even made Federer once change something because they had a different color. You know, just a stripe or something.
Like
I don't think they will.
Like there was too much black in someone's shoe, therefore they made him change shoes?
I don't think so, no.
All right, doubles with Safarova. Do they have a chance, Maddox-Sands and Safarova?
They dominated before her injury. I think they have a chance.
Does Sloane Stephens have the chance at Wimbledon?
Yes, she has the game for the grass.
How far does she make it?
She can make it to a quarters, definitely.
Venus Williams, how far does she make it?
First week of Wimbledon, gone.
Serena Williams, how far does she make it?
All the way.
Wins the tournament?
Not sure of that.
Sharapova, how far does she make it?
Second week.
Second week?
Yes.
Azarenka, how far does she make it?
As well, second week. I have her in my quarters as well.
Barty, hot grass early season wins, lost here recently. How far does Barty make it?
First week. I don't think she's fit enough to go into a second week.
How far does Halep make it?
Second week as well.
Lazicki.
Lisicki always. I mean, she's great in grass. If she could, I wish she would have won that match against Kerber many years ago. I think she'll make it into the second week.
Kvitova.
All the way.
Winning it.
She could be your finalist.
Kerber.
She's won it. No, she made it to a final and lost, did she? Yeah, she beat Lisicki, and she lost in the final. She'll make it into the second week.
Last but not least, Muguruza.
That's another quarterfinalist. You got Sloane in your quarterfinals. You got Serena. You got Sharapova, Muguruza, Kerber. They'll definitely, and Kvitova.
Don't forget about Ostapenko either.
No.
Don't forget about Stozier.
No. In the second week?
In the second week.
I don't think so.
Whoever has the best footwork and the ground strokes are clicking, even incorporates some net game. Don't forget about Pliskova, by the way.
Right,
I know there's
another one.
there's Carolina and Christina. The higher ranked of the two, I think, is Carolina. So Carolina Pliskova, I think, has a real big shot here. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. This was show number 15. Is it 15?
15. Yes.
15. So, thanks everyone for watching. Click a like below, subscribe below. It's always a pleasure to do the tennis news, men's and women's. Check out our previous 14 videos, and you can kind of see where this is going. Again, for Wimbledon, because of the size of the draws, we're going to try to pick ourselves, her own, myself, my own, men's and women's fantasy team. So 16 players, 8 men, 8 women, and keep up with those 8 men and 8 women. Score them as the tournament unfolds and to see who's going to come out on top. So we're going to have a competition, her against me. I think that's how it's unfolding, right?
Correct.
You locked in?
Yeah.
All right. So game, set, match here. And we will see you tomorrow with some semifinal news for these two tournaments. And hopefully on Sunday we can get about a day's rest before the tour picks up again next week for the men's tournament and the women's tournament. So, hey, we'll see you tomorrow for the time being. See you later. Carlos going to say adios.
Adios.